Hello, it's Teresa. I haven't been on in a little bit, and I have some really cool things to share. Last weekend, I went to Chicago for a 3-day training in the Perrin Technique. Dr. Raymond Perrin is the creator of that. He's an osteopath from England. I've been doing manual therapy as of this year for 30 years, and I've had a lot of advanced trainings. But this was the most amazing training I've had yet. I learned so much. And the Perrin Technique is about normalizing the lymphatic drainage of the brain and spinal cord, also called the neural lymphatic drainage. And Dr. Perrin specializes in treating CFS, ME, and fibromyalgia. CFS is chronic fatigue syndrome. ME is another name for it, which is myalgic encephalomyelitis, and then fibromyalgia people know about. But really, the technique can be used to treat any disorder of the brain. So anything, depression, anxiety, dementia, Alzheimer's, autism, Parkinson's, and just things that we don't even realize are disorders of the brain, such as temperature dysregulation, endocrine disruptions, including blood sugar imbalances, chronic, systemic or regional pain symptoms. All these things can be caused by the brain, chiefly the hypothalamus, which is kind of our physiologic control center of the brain. So, Dr. Perrin has a really extensive diagnostic process that he does with people to discern whether they do have indeed CFS, ME, or fibromyalgia, and to how severe it is, and then he can give like a really accurate prognosis about how long, using the Perrin technique, it will take for them to recover. And going through that process myself on the weekend, I learned that my symptoms are absolutely ME. I definitely have that. And Dr. Perrin's scale is from a 0 to a 10. 10 is the healthiest. 10 is completely healthy. 0 is dead. And so anywhere in between is basically where we are on that scale. And for me, I'm a 5-6. If I go through a ton of stress, I can drop down to a 5. And, according to Dr. Perrin, that will be at least a year of consistent therapy to recover. And the therapy is a really simple, great technique for essentially manual lymphatic drainage of the brain and spinal cord. So I've been assessing my clients since I got back and realizing that most people that I see have some degree of disruption in their neural lymphatic drainage. Now, here's the thing about the lymph system is that when we have stress, when we're under a lot of stress, the sympathetic nervous system, which creates the fight or flight physiology in our body, can essentially impact the lymph vessels so that they will flow backwards, meaning that lymph fluid that's supposed to be draining in one direction to get toxins and cellular metabolic waste and different things out of our body is compromised, and the fluid goes backwards. So it can go backwards anywhere. We can have a congested pancreas, congested liver, congested, as we see with people who end up with edema in their legs and so forth. That's an obvious sign of lymphatic congestion flowing backwards. But when it happens in organs, when it happens in the brain, it can have, severe impacts. And in the brain, as I just said, the hypothalamus, and there's different structures, especially in the basal ganglia, the limbic system of the brain, that control everything, including pain. And when those are compromised, basically they're being poisoned by dysfunctional lymphatic drainage from chronic stress, usually, then we can get a lot of problems. So anyway, I just came back with so much revelation from the Lord, like putting all these pieces together, and working with my clients And for years and like literally for at least as long as I've been doing body work, I have had the intuitive awareness of specific emotional issues that are creating tension in a person's body. But we didn't know the physiology yet to explain that. Now we do. So it has to do with the nervous system, what we're thinking, our subconscious mind, the interface between our soul and our body, the way our connective tissues work, the way our lymphatic blood and blood drainage work. And now the whole thing's kind of coming together. And I'm about to take training in something called brain spotting, which is a really effective technique, came out of EMDR, which is eye movement desensitization repatterning. But it's faster, it's easier, it's more effective, and less expensive than EMDR. It's just better all the way around. So I'm taking training in that. And so between Perrin Technique, brain spotting, another emotional trauma coaching technique called emotional awareness expression therapy, and other body work such as craniosacral, the Perrin Technique incorporates a large component of it. Does include advanced craniosacral, and then manual lymphatic drainage for the whole body, and also when it comes to nutrition, the bean protocol. So I know I'm saying a lot of things right now. It's not very organized, but essentially soul, body, mind, spirit, the whole thing. And to normalize the flow in all those systems, with the Lord, with Jesus Christ at the helm, at the pinnacle of all of it. So, and the foundation. He's the Alpha and Omega. So yeah, it's very cool stuff. I feel I had, a couple treatments from partners in the class, and I feel better. I do. But I'm also super aware of certain things. Paying much more attention to the Bean protocol. Check that out. It's not very well known yet, but look it up online. Karen Hurd, KerenHurd. She is the person who created that. She's a biochemist and nutritionist, and came to learn about the very, very important role that soluble fiber has for us to detoxify our liver and excess hormones and toxins, and heal the adrenals, which also, another conversation, but under chronic stress, our sympathetic nervous system constantly firing the adrenals, they can absolutely wear out. They can absolutely be dysfunctional. It's a big picture. But the Perrin Technique, wow, just next level. I'm so profoundly grateful and appreciative that I was able to participate in that training. Anybody out there who's a manual therapist, really encourage you to consider taking that training. I mean, the brain controls everything, right? So, yeah, it's a big conversation, but I'm looking forward to sharing more information about that. The Lord's definitely tying all the pieces together, definitely getting revelation about what we need to do to heal from chronic illness, and even just from feeling like crap. Yeah, so super excited. I'll be sharing more soon. Thank you, everybody, for your time and attention, and God bless.